The way that they did it, they started with the truck, bad idea. This does not look right and everything will shift. It's like all over the place. Hey there, this is Styling from Stitches XXI, ready to explore? Well, let's jump in and what happened when you don't digitize for a hat. And trust me, you will be surprised with the video, especially if you are beginning. So let's roll the video. Here are the two hats. This is the good hat and this is the bad hat. It's very important when you digitize a file for a hat, you want to make sure that you always remember this. You want to start from the bottom, center out. Meaning you want to start this line and then this and then the contraction and then this and then in this case, because this is a little bit more tricky, I went ahead and did yellow and then the outline and then I went to the truck. But before I went to the yellow, I laid out the whole tatami filling, the black filling, and then I went into the yellow and then the outline and then I'm gonna explain what happened here. So this design, because I have other work, right, that I'm working with and I have other jobs, I want to make sure that my time it is spent efficiently. So I send these out, but when I got it, it was totally my fault because I should have been checking these files regardless who is doing it. Even though I specified for a hat, so that's why I didn't expect that they will not do this the right way. So the way that they did it, they started with the truck, bad idea. Started with the truck and then they did this part and then they went here and then here. So there is no sequence. It's just like all over the place. And this is what happened. You know, you will have this type of mistakes here where, you know, this does not look right and everything will shift. The text has to be bottom, center out. So bottom this line and then the filling tatami and then construction, you want to start from the center. So say I want to start with the RTSNOC and then go all the way back and then UCTION, obviously included the little lines as well. And once you finish, then you move on into the line here. And it's very important. You can either go two-way about the lines. You can either start in the center and then out, or you can just start in one way and one side and then go to the other side. For me, it has worked perfectly fine unless the line is very thick, then you might want to rethink that. But for example, for this text, is the same thing. I want to start with the C and then ES and then come back and do RE. You want to always start on the center and finish on the side. So what this does is that when the hat is moving, right, it's moving back and forth like that on the machine, you know, bam, 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 bam. And if you start at the top, when it gets to the bottom, it might be chances that the hat moves slightly, and it's totally normal. But the way that you avoid these things is by starting at the bottom. It's the more structure. Here, even though this is a structure hat, it's a more structure down here because of the brim, right? And just for the record, I'm using, as you know already, Richardson 112. These are a very, very structured hat. And if you wondering too, I also did use a backing as well. So it's not like I did it without a backing. And even with the backing, I still have the problem. So just keep that in mind. I'm just gonna play it out this so you guys get an idea of what I'm talking about. So you can see how the line starts first. Let me see if I can increase the speed on here so we can go a little bit faster. So you can see how we increased the speed now, and you can see how is everything going. It's starting from the bottom, and you can see, as it says, CES and then RE, and then it goes from there. See here how I go about this. After the truck, I continue doing the things. I don't do all the details. I just do the bigger details, and then I continue to do the rest just to make sure that everything doesn't move. But these small details can wait because they're gonna be placed on top of something that it's already embroidered. So I'm not too afraid of small details. These details are big, are the one that you should be concerned about because they can shift as they, you know, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And yeah, it also depends on the material. But as we, in this case, we are talking about a Richardson structure, very structured. So in theory, you shouldn't be worried too much that they are going to like stretch the material. But you already saw what happened. You know, if you don't do this the way. So here's a short story. I remember when I first got my Recall, which was my first machine, I was doing the first embroidery ever, and I got it from, I don't remember, but it was a Digitized that I didn't do, but it was very perfect. And I was looking at it, the whole thing, and in my mind I had so many questions. I was like does the machine does all the work? Like, does the machine know where to go and like where to start and where to end? How does the machine know the form of the shapes and like where to start and where to end? So I had so many questions at that moment, but now that I know very well digitizing, and I highly recommend if you are a business owner or someone that actually want to take care of your clientele and you are embroidering, you have some sort of machine, I encourage you to not only learn digitizing, but every digitize that you sent out to like look at it, because now I know that I make all the decision and not the machine. I know better the machine. The machine just do what I tell it to do. So it's very important that you know all the basics, fundamentals, and principle on how to digitize any type of garment, because trust me, all the garments will look better with a specific setting for that garment. All right, so here's the question. When you first experienced this, that you realized it wasn't anything but the digitized file, what was your thought? Like, what was your experience? What do you do? Do you contact your digitizer or your manufacturer? You thought it was the machine or you that were broken? I would like to know. So if you have any experience about this, please share it with me down below in the comments. I am a big fan of other creators, so feel free to follow me or send me any of the struggles that you're going through. Thank you for stitching with me today. Keep creating, and I'll see you in the next video.